All right, Can't Fake the Tape subscribers and followers. We have something big for you guys today. We have the great Tony Murphy.
My boy.
Eastside legend, Norfolk legend, college achieved, head basketball coach. So we're excited about this interview today. How you feel today, sir?
I feel good. Just want to do something, step outside the box a little bit. People never get to really hear me talk. So, I mean, this is an opportunity right here.
Okay.
So, I mean, I feel comfortable with you guys also. I've known you guys for a while. So, I feel like this is the best platform for me right now to do that on.
And we appreciate you coming on to the show, man. So, first question, tell us about your start playing basketball. What made you fall in love with it?
My father introduced me to the game.
Okay.
I mean, I've been playing basketball since before I could remember anything. Like, I always just remember basketball. My father did it. He also went to Eastside High School.
Fair Eastside, by thy side will stay.
Okay.
He graduated from Eastside. He ended up playing at Southern University. He got drafted in the NBA. That situation didn't work out. I know he played overseas for some years. He came back. He also played like CBA locally, the leagues around the United States. And then once he settled down, you know, he had me and my brother and been going at it ever since then, ever since I can remember.
Okay, so yeah, that would be like your first love, and he kind of instilled his love of the game into you, and you took it up to, you know, your own level.
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah.
Growing up, I always used to hear about him. I probably saw like one tape. That's when he was in college. He was a nation's leading scorer, Division I history.
Okay, cool.
Nation's leading scorer, and I believe that was 1976.
Okay.
He was averaging, I want to say it was like 30 or maybe more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But like I said, I never saw him play, but, you know, I always used to hear about it. And, you know, people would, you know how people are, always try to compare or say you got to be as good as him. But I was just my own player.
And that's dope, man. That's dope. So we kind of understand where you got your beginning and your love. So who was your favorite basketball player of all time growing up? Who would you say inspired you like, yo, I want to resemble my game after him?
Growing up, I think anybody would be lying that's my age and they didn't say it wasn't Mike.
Okay.
Like who was Michael Jordan was like the best player around
at the time
growing up. Yes. You know, I liked several players. Also, I'm more so a player's guy than a team. I guess that's just from me loving the game of basketball. I just like watching it, period.
Yeah.
So it's something that you could take from everybody. So if I would have to choose one, I would say Mike. But then when I really got into basketball, Dwayne Wade was one of my favorite players.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade was one of my favorite players. And also, of course, LeBron.
So what would you say stood out with you with Dwayne Wade since that was your first choice?
I felt like we were around the same size. Okay. So it was more so like realistic. Like I think we're both like around 6'2", 6'3". So I feel like if him at that size, he can play at that level, so can I. Like LeBron and Mike, they were 6'6". LeBron's like 6'8", 6'9". So it's a little different. But Dwayne Wade, he was athletic, slasher. I just loved the way he played.
Yeah, his passion for the game and stuff like that. We know your passion for the love of the game and your favorite basketball player. So amateur playing basketball in Paterson, we have this thing called City League. How was City League was a positive influence for you growing up, and who did you play for?
Well, Paterson Recreation is the one who sponsors City League.
Rec. Shout out to Paterson Rec.
Always have been a part of Paterson Rec since, like I said, since I can remember, still a part of Paterson Recreation. They actually let me do my first basketball summer league this summer at School 30. So definitely shout out to Paterson Recreation.
Definitely.
But yeah, Paterson Recreation, you know, they sponsored the City League, and City League basketball coming up was just competitive.
Yeah, definitely.
It was always competitive. It was always a lot of kids came out. A lot of relationships to this day with a lot of people in Paterson are because of City League. You know, we met so many people during that whole thing. It's funny because even now, like certain people who I follow on Instagram and, you know, we follow each other, we always bug out about City League now till this day.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was just very competitive. Paterson always has a lot of good basketball players.
Definitely.
So it was just it was real competitive, and it was like bragging rights for real.
Definitely.
I played for Positive Impact.
Okay, Paterson Plus. Shout out to Paterson Plus, Positive Impact.
Yeah, we smacked them. I feel nah, Paterson Plus. Shout out to Paterson Plus. Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie Paterson.
Yeah,
word.
Definitely, Charlie. When I was older, I know it's moving forward a little bit, but when I was older, Charlie was like one of the ones who also sponsored like the teams in the men's leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, so Charlie probably still at it right now.
Yeah.
So definitely shout out to Charlie. But yeah, no, it was just real competitive. I played for Positive Impact. And I feel like Positive Impact is like one of the best city league programs that you could possibly play for. There's no Paterson. We don't exist now. It stopped. I forgot what year it stopped. But you know, we had a lot of good players come out of there. A lot of players from that program went to college. So yeah, no, definitely. I feel like we were the best program, like
in the town at the
league.
time. Okay, cool. We kind of talked about this off topic about how the city would come out for the city league games, and you kind of elaborated about how city league made you, you know, not nervous. Because I asked you before, did you get nervous during high school or
facts.
Norfolk? So explain how the city league, the pressure, the camaraderie, and the brotherhood and intensity that the city brought to the games.
Well, y'all from Paterson, so you already know like the energy that Paterson people bring to the games. Like everybody is just always especially at that time, everybody always came out and you know they supported their team.
Definitely.
So it was this one, and I think I was telling you about that story. It was the one story when I think I was 11. It was my first year in midget.
Okay.
And I got fouled to end the game. So it was no time left on the clock. But it was a gym full of people. We was at School 30. I don't remember who we were playing. And you talking about like standing room only in the gym, and I'm 11 years old at the time.
I remember those days.
So I go to the free throw line. We were losing by 2, so I had to make both free throws. So you know, you got people in the stands cheering, of course, at that time. Like, but it was all in fun. At that point in time. But you know, I stepped to the free throw line. I knocked those free throws down. So it was just like from that moment on, it's like no situation really could like really make me nervous on the basketball court. I feel like it started from there.
Okay, cool. Because I used to always talk about too, like Pee-wee, 5, 6 years old, you miss a layup, the crowd is booing you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or whatever, or competitively cheering you on and stuff. So that's definitely dope how you elaborate how City League helped you positively, you know, with your high school and college career.
It was always situations in City League. I remember another time when we were, I think this was our 8th grade year, we went undefeated the last year, so 12 years old, and that was the last year of midget. And we only played 1 year lightweight, which was our 8th grade year. So I remember we was undefeated both of those years. In that last year, that 8th grade year, we played Serenity, and we were losing. And yellow.
I remember that too.
Yeah, we were losing with a minute left. We were losing by 10 points. We ended up coming back winning the game.
Oh wow!
And you talking about once again another standing room only situation in School 30. Like, it was just situations like that, or moments like that. I would say that it just helped me out in my career. So it was never a moment where I was just completely nervous on the basketball court.
Okay, copy. So let's fast forward. So we're gonna go, you know, after your lightweight year playing for Positive Impact. So now it's time for Tony Murphy to choose which high school he wanted to go to. So you're from the town, from Paterson, New Jersey. So it was Kennedy, you know, Paterson Catholic. You know, we had great players like Tim Thomas, Miles Mack, Kyle Anderson to play there. And we also had Eastside, just like your father's a legend. What made you choose Eastside?
I wasn't chosen. I had to go there.
Oh, okay. That was just already for you.
I'm being all the way real. I definitely was going to Eastside. It didn't matter. I've been around Eastside once again forever. So, I mean, one of the first games I ever went to was when Eastside played Paterson Catholic in the county finals when Tim Thomas was playing.
Okay.
So, you know, that was like really the first time I could remember like really being around Eastside. I also remember being around Eastside just from going to, you know, different games when they played at home. You know, my cousin played for Eastside also. I had a lot of family that played for Eastside and coached for Eastside. So I was just always around. But Coach Henry Baker, there was nobody else that my father would probably want me to play for.
Yeah.
So I already knew I was going to Eastside regardless of who was interested, who wanted me. It was definitely Eastside.
Okay, cool. Fellow goes to John. We all three of us played for Eastside. So now we in your high school, career and stuff, playing. You say you played varsity as a freshman.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, so what would you say throughout your 4 years was your standout game in high school that stands out to you the most?
Freshman year, I would say we played Ridgewood. We were losing by 15, and I was a freshman. Like I said, I played both.
Okay.
Up until a certain point, and at the end of the season, that's when I probably played full-time varsity. It was because of like ineligibility with some people, so it just worked out for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ridgewood, we was down 15. I hit 5 straight threes for us to come back. We ended up winning the game in overtime.
Back-to-back possessions like that, Murph?
It was something like, I don't remember how it went. I don't know if it was back-to-back, but yeah, we went on like a 15-0 run. And we won that game. So that was freshman year. Sophomore year, I would say, is 2 games.
Okay.
Where I felt like I belonged in varsity basketball.
Okay. Your coming out game, as you would say, that you was
when we played Passaic, because everybody knows Passaic at that time was like a powerhouse. So we played Passaic. I had a pretty decent game, and Paterson Catholic at that time was another powerhouse. I believe they met that year in the county finals. And I had a good game against Paterson Catholic. Junior year was like against Kennedy, and my senior year was like a takeoff year.
Yeah. So what would you say was your career high in high school?
My career high in high school was 43.
43 against who?
Clifton.
Oh, Clifton High School. Okay, cool,
Clifton.
cool. Okay. Now,
I know people gonna be like, it was just Clifton.
Yeah.
I also
No
had
against
40
Clifton.
against Don Bosco Prep.
Okay, cool. Talk what you gotta talk, my boy. Definitely. Know what I mean? Okay, so Tone, explain to us, how was your senior year for you? Go into detail about how was that last year to stamp it off at Eastside for you?
Senior year was just dope.
Okay.
Like, I just remember senior year being, I don't know, I can't use any other words. It was a fun time.
Okay.
Senior year. I think a lot of the kids now, like, they try to be grown too fast. I can honestly say that, like, we have fun being kids, just regular kids in high school play ball. And it wasn't me. Like, my success was because of them also, all my teammates. And it was like 8 of us that was seniors. I think at that time, Relly, Maurice, John, Mahim, Pee Wee, and Anthony, I believe. I don't think I'm missing anybody else. And I know Ramir. Ramir was there. And then our senior year, I think Bodie ended up showing up. Like, he played on the team that year. So it was like, we had a lot of seniors. And we all came in together as freshmen. Everybody knowing each other from City League. And I think we all started actually playing together. I think that was that junior year. We started playing together. And then just after that junior year, leading into senior year and just leading into that season, we hung out a lot. Like,
you had the brotherhood, the camaraderie.
Like
teammates supposed to
honestly, I don't remember how it started, but I know John was a big part of that too, because John was the only one at that time who drove.
Okay.
Yeah, we called it the G unit. We called it the G unit. John was the only one that drove at that time, so I don't even really remember. Like, it probably started off from us going by his house playing video games, and then like one person went, then somebody else would come. So John House really was like the spot that we went to senior year, and then we had like we always went to Maywood Courts I remember when we had preseason that year, we would work out at Eastside with Coach Baker at the field house, and then we'll go to like Seton Hall and go play out there too. Like, we played everywhere together. So, I mean, I feel like that helped us a lot. Like, and I try to get my team now to, I try to tell them the importance of team bonding.
Definitely.
Because it helped. Like, nobody had an ego. Like, I was the one known for like scoring. That I got the articles written about me. But if you ask any one of them, I never like acted like it was all about me.
Definitely.
Like, I just went out there and just did what I did, and it was just like regular. Like, I think a lot of teams now, they have identity issues because everybody feels like they're a scorer. On our team, everybody knew like what their job was.
Their role and stuff.
So
like that,
we never butted heads senior year because like everybody just knew their role. Like, I was the scorer. Then you had Pee Wee, who was the scorer. Pee Wee actually shot more shots than me too. Pee Wee shot more shots than me too.
Yeah.
Maheen was then the next scorer, but also the defender. John was another defender, rebounder, but we know that John could hit outside shots, which he always did. Then you had like people like Ramir. He could hit an outside shot also. Like everybody at some point in time during the senior year, they won us a game.
Yeah, wow.
So it was like you couldn't ask for like a better team. So the only thing that pretty much hurt us was we didn't have the height.
Yeah, okay.
We was all the same size.
Yeah.
So like it was difficult going up against some of those other schools just because we didn't have the size, but we always played hard. But we was all seniors, so like we already knew what time it was when we stepped on the court.
Yeah, that's dope, man, that you're elaborating about how the team bonding not only off the court affects you guys on the court.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of younger players don't understand, and which also in college basketball and professional sports, like in order for you guys to get along and know each other's strengths and weaknesses, you guys have to hang out outside the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and get to know each other's personality. So that was, that's
Yeah,
very like a dope statement.
We ended up making a run that year. So that's the year that we ended up winning the county finals.
County champions, okay.
And that was the first time for Eastside. I think it was like 10, 11 years that they had won the county.
Yeah.
And we got counted out that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was a 6th seed and we won.
Oh wow. Okay.
We had to beat like the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed to win. So
like
we wasn't the favorite.
A little bit.
Yeah, we wasn't the favorite, but we ended up when we got there, we actually handled business though. Yeah, we handled business. And we ended up winning the counties. That senior year though, we ended up losing to Emerson.
Emerson, okay.
Yeah, Emerson in the state quarters. But I felt like if we would have got past them, and we're not even gonna talk about that game because that game was crazy. I still got the tape.
Yeah.
But if we would have got past them, we probably would have met Tech again in the finals in the state tournament. So I think that would have ended up being another good game.
Okay, so walk us through that 43-point game. What was going through your mind? Were you in that zone? Explain that zone, because 43 points, a lot of people don't even get 20 points in a high school game. You know what I mean? Or no matter what level. So go through the mindset of when you was just in that zone of 43 points against Clifton. We
just got smacked.
Yeah.
We got smacked the day before by St. Benedict's.
Okay.
So just a little backstory from the St. Benedict's game. We played St. Benedict's in the summertime. It was like a fall tournament. And this was at Don Bosco Tech. And we ended up beating St. Benedict's in the finals. Well, not the finals, the semifinals in that tournament. But St. Benedict's didn't have their full team. Okay. Like, those guys, AAU, all that stuff was going on. So they didn't have a full team. So we ended up getting scheduled in a regular season. And we played them with a full team. Now you're talking about a team that had about 10 Division I players.
Yeah.
Damn. So, of course, like, the shortest player on their team was like 6'4".
Yeah.
The tallest being 6'11".
Yeah.
So, they ended up beating us by like 30. I think it was the MLK showcase, I believe, at Kennedy High School. And we ended up playing Clifton the next day. So it was just like you
can't go down like that. So you was highly motivated, like it's up for them.
Yeah. But it was just shots was falling.
Yeah.
So it just happened like that. I knew I scored a lot, but I didn't know that I had 43
until the end of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now, like the recruiting process, like senior year, you know what I mean? How was that recruiting process for you, and why did you choose Norfolk State?
The recruiting process, I would say, was up and down. I try to, me and my other coach, Coach Zoo, we tell the kids now how important their freshman and sophomore year is academically.
Academically.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing catch up. It's much better to be ahead, especially like with your GPA, your grades, not failing anything. So I want to say my first year, I wasn't doing the best in school. Like I could have been doing more. It was just really me being lazy. It's not that I couldn't do the work. It was just me being lazy. But my grades ended up affecting my recruiting process a little bit when it came to the bigger schools who were interested. They didn't want to take a chance. They didn't want to take a chance on me because they didn't know if I would like clear clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Which I ended up clearing clearinghouse senior year, like towards the end. So when everybody else was getting out early, I was in school till 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock trying to catch up.
All year, like just trying to make sure my GPA matched my test score. But during that time, Norfolk State was the school who, you know, they never went anywhere. They started recruiting me my junior year. Coach Darryl Jacobs knew Coach Evans, and Coach Evans was the head coach. Assistant coach at Norfolk State at the time. So they had a relationship. You know, he told him about me, and then Evans started coming to my games. And all year, like even during baseball season, like they came out. They made the trip.
And a lot of people don't know you play 2 sports too, Murph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Baseball and basketball. So yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, I played baseball just as long as I played basketball. Like that's another thing. Like I was always doing something. I was always busy. So yeah, no, Evans just always called me. He always you know, just checked on me, make sure everything was going good. So it's like we had a relationship when I went there on my first college visit. So it was dope.
Nah, that's dope, man, because, you know, we both are educators, you know, working in the city of Paterson, and try to elaborate to kids, like, you know, who are athletes too, and also who are not athletes, how important, you know, academics are.
No, it's
you know
very
what I mean?
important. You
Very important.
Can't go anywhere without it. Like you can't go anywhere without it, especially when you talk about being recruited. The first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna ask for your transcripts.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like, they're gonna ask for your transcripts. So you know, kids now, especially like, how you doing in school? I don't know. If you say I don't know, that means
more than likely it's
really
not
doing
good
that.
thing.
Like I was in your situation. I know what that means.
Exactly.
So yeah, just try to tell them how important education is, because if you talking about getting a scholarship, they're not gonna give you this money if you're not gonna do what you gotta do.
Like a good
unless you
investment,
just
basically.
like super exceptional.
Yeah.
But once again, you still have to do some kind of work.
Man, can't fake the tape.